Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back again with another Kaspa and crypto live stream, and the market is capitulating right now. This is all off the growing FUD off the back of Trump tariffs. Even BlackRock have sold as well a little bit of their Bitcoin. Ultimately, right now we are in a massive pullback in the market. Crash. I think it's fair to say we're in a market crash. Am I worried? Not really, not yet at least. I do think we see some more downside right now because coming back. We'll talk about all of that in this stream, and also talk about the reason why I was late today's stream is because I was taking my time, which this is still ongoing right now, but I was taking my time listening into this subcommittee hearing from the Senate committee talking about exploring bipartisan legislative framework for digital assets. Ultimately, it's covering stuff that, it's their first one, and, it's something that I will probably listen to again in my own time and get a bit more into the nitty-gritty stuff of it. I was just listening to kind of get an understanding of what they were talking about, and what they were talking about as well is ultimately how soon we will see regulations for stablecoins coming through into this market, which is a very big deal. So ultimately, this stream will be covering the current FUD, the pullback. I still believe it's a bear trap, following with the new Kaspa listings, which is quite good to see, other Kaspa news, and ultimately a lot of very bullish talk about stablecoins, something that I think Kaspa can also tap into as well. The market may be scary right now, and I'm sure you are very worried, but here is your daily FOMO. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like the streams, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. And without further ado, welcome back, everybody. We can see Devious Me once again, my man. Welcome back to the stream. And the A, little J, is still sleeping. Welcome back, my man. You're doing very well. And the check-in, where's my guy, Mr. Miles? I have no idea. Normally Mr. Miles is in right now. I did put an announcement in my community earlier, so he was definitely aware. All these people who saw the announcement should have been aware what time we were going live today. So hopefully he'll join later on. If not, maybe he is just sleeping. Who knows? Why ADA doesn't have stable coins? To my knowledge, ADA does have stables, or maybe using smart contracts. I'm not entirely sure. I in fact almost once I didn't even know. I thought that I did. From what I can see from a quick Google search, they have faced some challenges, which is, the reason why, actually, I cannot give you a reason why. Ultimately, from what I can see, it looks like their focus was elsewhere and not on stablecoins, which, if I am being perfectly honest, They seem to be right now in the process of trying to bring stablecoins to their platform, but the fact they haven't got it out yet is quite a cause for concern. I know neither does Kaspa right now, but Kaspa, again, hasn't had as much time as Cardano's had, and I think stablecoins are going to be a very big thing going into this space, which we definitely need. But anyways, without being said, let's get into the actual content. So we can see right now, Bitcoin has fallen off a cliff. Kaspa has also come down quite a lot as well, and this is off the back of the news. We have seen a lot more already, but as of this post, which was about an hour and a half ago, we saw $255 million liquidated, gone from the crypto market in just 1 hour, which is excessive to say the least, and we have seen a hell of a lot more in the past half an hour as well. We're seeing a massive liquidation event. We are seeing BlackRock selling $165 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday, which is also partly why the markets are correcting so heavily, because one of the key things you do in this market is you don't be emotional, you be logical, and you also follow the money. If the money is leaving, you follow them. Now, I am almost certain that BlackRock and the US government and every other massive wealth manager will be buying back up in these dips. But, of course, selling them may have been a way to, at least not lose much more money there, because these institutions, they have insider circles, and of course with BlackRock in that regard, they also have a supercomputer AI machine called Aladdin, which is comprised of like 5,000 supercomputers. That is basically their trading masterpiece. They utilize Aladdin to effectively know when to buy and sell in the market. So if they're selling right now, that's based off very, very in-depth experienced AI technology. So effectively the best software there is. Aladdin combines the expertise of AI and also human intelligence and machine learning. So BlackRock selling, therefore, is quite a big indicator. That's why the market's also correcting. But again, I still don't have a problem. I'm still not worried right now for the outlook of crypto in this cycle. And we'll get into course into more so why in a moment. But yes, market correcting right now. That's because yesterday or the day before, Trump announced that he is moving forward once again with tariffs, 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico. And now he recently just announced 25% tariffs on the European Union as well. So it's basically trade war going full force again, which you can see here from the copious letter. Trade war is back. Minutes after Trump announced 25% tariffs on the European Union, the S&P 500 have raised $500 billion of market cap. Meanwhile, Bitcoin just broke below 84k for the first time since November 11th, which is soon after Trump was elected, which is insane. So what's next? What we're going to look forward to? Well, we've got a lot of big things incoming right now. Ultimately, we can see some more downside. Trump apparently mentioned that the tariffs would be applied generally and specifically called on car imports. He recently said that the tariffs on Mexico and Canada are still set to begin in April, so not March. I was misinformed about that. It's in April apparently. And it's going to be April 2nd, not April 1st, which, I mean, reasons for that, I don't know. Maybe in a joking sense, he didn't want to do it on April 1st because that's April Fool's Day. So if people would get very, very iffy if they saw tariffs implemented on April Fool's Day, that's just a random speculation, I guess. But Trump said he put a tariff on Mexico and Canada on April 2nd. Of course, there is still time for, Canada, Mexico, and America to come to some form of agreement that will stop the tariffs coming through. But as it stands right now, we're looking like we're going to be seeing 20% tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. There's currently 10% on China, and potentially 100% tariffs will be put on the BRICS alliance as well. So, of course, right now the market is in massive FUD, a lot of bearish sentiment because of the speculation of ongoing trade wars coming into fruition. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more, downside to come through very soon as well. But I'm also not ultimately that worried as well. There's a lot longer thread here. I'll be linking this in my community. Go check it out. Link in the description on my YouTube homepage here and also in the chat as well. Let me quickly preload it because I did not preload that. But yes. There. Okay. But yeah, I'm still like this stuff right now. I'm probably talk about it a little bit more in a moment. There, Mr. Miles. But yeah, I'm not ultimately too worried right now. And it's also probably, again, the reason why I also said it's going to get worse, not just for tariffs as well, but also because Trump apparently is ordering all federal agencies to prepare for massive downsizing. Some people are happy about this, some are not. Again, depends on what side of the argument you're supporting. Ultimately, I have got quite a neutral viewpoint of the matter. I don't want to state anything that's going to, potentially come to backlash me, because I know a lot of people right now aren't happy with Trump. A lot of people also are happy with Trump. So my opinion on the matter is going to remain quite neutral. But ultimately right now the market is in the mud, is bleeding due to the worries of the trade war and also BlackRock selling. So I'll circle back to that later on in this stream, because I'm sure as we're just starting off now, we'll only start the stream for about 10 minutes so far, if that. So sure, people who will be joining later on, we'll circle back to it later on as well. But I do want to also cover some of the good news coming in as well, which is why, again, these market corrections, I'm not too worried. To give a bit of a, slightly, just go a little more in depth. As I mentioned in my stream yesterday, also mentioned in my video that I published yesterday as well, which I'm sure if you haven't checked it out, it's right there. I mentioned that we are used to seeing Bitcoin correct about 30% in value before we see it make a move. I mean, think about what happened in when we saw it rally to 73k. That was a 32% correction before we saw it rally back up. Look at the cycle back here in 2021 in January. 30% correction before it made its first top here. Obviously it came back down 50% here. But then in the relief rally up, and then you saw a correction pattern here. Again, that was about 25-30%. Point being is, historically speaking, we are used to seeing roughly 30% correction in the market. So right now, if you look at Bitcoin, with its current aggressive sell-off, which truth be told, Bitcoin's going down aggressively, and alts, I would expect alts to be going down all 10, 20% off this. And it hasn't done that yet. So I'm also I think alts are, truth be told, holding up quite well with respect. Of course, there's still more downside potentially in the market. We can see right now Bitcoin is currently down about 25%. So again, chance for downside is still there, I've been highlighting, but I'm also not too worried as well. And I'll come back to this a little bit later on, but I want to answer some questions real quickly before I get into the very good news. Why add on the stablecoins makes kind of bullish then? I mean, ultimately, LB, yes, to an extent. Now, I was actually quite surprised learning that Ada doesn't have stablecoins, but they don't. I guess it was not in their intention to do so, at least not for the time being. They may do this later on as well. They may do this later on, but I mean, I think from what I've seen so far, Cardano do plan to implement stablecoins, but the fact of the matter being that Cardano's been out for so long and hasn't got stables yet, that could be quite a misplay from them, because as I'm going to get into this stream, stablecoins are going to be huge. And I think Kaspa's actually trying to focus on that as well, because they understand the significant stablecoins coming through very soon as well. What's up, Raspberry Pi? Welcome back to man, doing very, very well. And Rational Rage. So their Aladdin AI is being used to manipulate the crypto market. That can be a way of perceiving that, yes. But I wouldn't say, I mean, again, it depends how you perceive it, right? The way I have understood it from the research that I've done, Aladdin AI, Aladdin is, again, is a piece of, equipment that was constructed and developed by BlackRock, and they've given it out and sold it off to, Microsoft and Apple and, Bank of America. All the massive wealth managers, they all are utilizing this Aladdin technology when they're trading. It's comprised of 5,000. I mean, let's see if I can quickly find it in my community, because I'm sure I spoke about Aladdin in the past, and I might even have linked it here. I hope I have. That's when I can actually get my dyslexic brain to remember how to spell Aladdin or not. It's beyond. Okay, so I haven't got it preloaded, but I'll see if I can find it whilst we're talking about it right now. But basically, Aladdin BlackRock. It is not basically BlackRock has a software called Aladdin, and it's comprised of AI intelligence and machine learning as well. But because BlackRock is BlackRock ultimately, here's the post. There you go. I can actually speak about it without stumbling over my words now. But yes, so we can see this post here. This is effectively a sort of rundown of Aladdin, which I'll link this in my community to make it easy for people to find it out as well. But basically, this is Aladdin. This is what BlackRock uses. This is a network of 5,000 supercomputers, the combination of human expertise and machine intelligence that is the perfect synergy that is reshaping the financial landscape. BlackRock is selling them access to the likes of Microsoft, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Vanguard, Wells Fargo, and so on and so forth. So ultimately, all the massive hedge funds and wealth managers, they are utilizing Aladdin to successfully trade. And of course, they are the big money. They're the market makers, effectively. So you could argue, yes, they are using this technology to manipulate the market, but at the end of the day, the technology is combined of human expertise and machine intelligence. And so machine intelligence, of course, but equally, you could, from a human standpoint, with Trump implementing tariffs and trade war now growing, FUD growing more and more, it logically makes sense for you to sell right now. So it makes sense for that. At the same time, I'm not too worried. Some of my assets I've taken out into stables. Kaspa, I have still not sold a dime, and I don't plan to. So in a very roundabout way, Rational Rage, yes, it is, but I don't think that's the Aladdin technology per se. I think that's because BlackRock's just so big and using AI to be more efficient with their trading. The come for the storm, I do agree with that right now. This is a storm before a typhoon, if you will. The massive, worry right now in the market. Bitcoin did come back down to $82,500. Right now it's back up to 84. But still, we could see some more downside. I'm expecting Bitcoin to probably touch this zone here. And with the current building up of tariffs and all the all the FUD right now, the speculation, I'm inclined to believe we do end up seeing a repeat of history, and we see a 30% pullback, which puts us back into the 75k zone. These are the three zones I drew out as the levels of support between 85k, 80k, and 75k. I think we'll probably see, again, it's not financial advice, my personal belief, we see Bitcoin potentially touch this zone down here, 30% correction, and as history has shown us time and time again, that normally we start seeing the gradual but definitive price reversal, unless we end up seeing a repeat what happened back in the last cycle, where we saw it make its first top. We saw a 50% correction before making another top again. We have to wait and see. Right now we have a lot of bullish catalysts coming through that could dissuade further corrections, which we'll get into, of course, in this stream as well. Let's be honest, KLC20 has collapsed. Right now, KLC20 is not doing very well. Yes, we can see here. KLC20 is, the natural right now is at 11.6 mil. Can goes at 5 mil. Caspi's 3. Casper Ghost is 1.6. Gold 1.6. Kiro. Everything's come down massively. Is this ecosystem completely dead? It's up for debate. My current standpoint on it is many of these tokens will probably die. I've still not got into them, and some could probably argue I'm quite lucky. I've been saying it for ages, I plan to get into them, and I still do, but I haven't pulled the pin just yet, and arguably I'm quite lucky in that regard then, because, I haven't ended up misplaying, if you will. Either way, look at Natural holders right now surpassed 18,000. So Natural in that regard actually has been getting more and more adoption, despite the price not doing well. Most of these projects I think are actually seeing increased adoption, just the price is not doing very well. So my standpoint right now, not financial advice once again, is that a lot of these projects will probably die, especially the smaller ones down here. They probably will fall off completely. When Casper starts to rally, the ones who have been around for the longest, the bigger, stronger ones, so Nacho, Kango, Casper Ghost, those are the ones I think, and Gold, those are the 5. The current top 5 I think are very, very likely to stay and rally up very, very massive with Casper rallying as well. And with Casper rallying as well, you probably see a lot more of these KR20 memes created. And that's you've got to be careful as well, because the ones that are created probably around that time, very likely they could be rugs. You've got to be very, very careful. Just because it says 0% free mint doesn't mean it's safe. You've seen multiple assets in the past on this network, on this platform, this KR20, which have been 0%, and they've still been rugs. But right now, yes, KR20 is relatively dead. Is it done for? Up for debate. It depends on Casper ultimately, and Casper's still very early on. But I do think Casper's going to come. I do think, for me, Casper's coming back this cycle, and in that regard, therefore, KR20 will also come back with it as well. Mr. Miles, welcome back, my man. You're doing very, very well. Good to have you. The fact that Black was sold makes me a little scared, though. I agree with that sentiment, and I do understand that. Seeing so much liquidity is crazy. Seeing, Trump implementing tariffs on European Union as well, and now we've got tariffs that were implemented on Canada, Mexico, and European Union. They're not actually in play just yet. That's the thing. They're not actually in play just yet. They've just been announced. Canada and Mexico's not going to happen until April, so we've got a whole month to wait. According to Kobe's letter here, a whole month to wait. I had to look into that again, to be honest, because I was under the impression it comes through in March, but apparently it's going to be in April. But either way, we've got these tariffs coming through, so of course trade war is now a massive concern, and that's bad for financial markets. So that's obviously got people scared, and of course seeing BlackRock actually selling, and quite a sizable portion as well, equally got people scared. But at the same time, this is the software they have. BlackRock are always going to outtrade us, always going to outtrade us, because they've got this sort of technology behind them. They're a $1 trillion asset manager, $11.5 trillion asset under management. They are massive. But at the same time, if you heard Larry Fink, if you heard this subcommittee earlier as well, you can see their stance on Bitcoin and crypto for the most part is still extremely bullish. There was an individual in here that did express his stance on saying, I still don't think we should see a Bitcoin reserve. But that was in my opinion, sort of a small sidebar to the ultimate conversation of this being about stablecoin bills. Is Grayscale going to release their Q1 holdings tonight at 10 p.m? I think I see something on X. Yeah, so I've looked into it. This Marathon Digital Hold. Oh, Grayscale. Okay, Grayscale, actually, I don't know. I don't know about Grayscale. I haven't heard anything about Grayscale. I know about Marathon today. Marathon are meant to be releasing their next quarterly report, and that's meant to be coming out later today. Now, unfortunately, because I'm in the UK, it's going to be 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, so that's going to be in about 4 hours' time. I think it's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time it's released. So by the time I wake up tomorrow, or if I'm still awake by 1 p.m, who knows, I'm sure I'll have the next quarterly report and be able to see the balance of mouth on how much they are holding of Kaspa. Apparently they're holding more. I have to wait and see. But I don't know about Grayscale, but hopefully we'll see some big announcement on Twitter in that regard then as well. Before I get into some more questions, so let's get back into the good news. So I'll come back into this part again later on, those who are joining right now. What's up? Welcome back to the stream. And to get into the news, first off, we've got this announcement stuff. We've got multiple announcements here from Kaspa, which is quite good to see, all things considered, despite the market sentiment. Kaspa just announced they got a new swap listing on CoinOSwap, which is good to see. Ultimately, yes, it's not Binance, it's not OKX, it's not Coinbase, but it's more adoption. And that is ultimately still a very good thing for Kaspa. You know, you got to take the small wins. The more we see of this, the more the big exchanges are just going to be around the corner. So it's good to see all in all. But that's not all, because according to KEF here, we've got a new listing as well. They've got the Coin Call Global to list the first Kaspa options trading product, which is a big milestone. We've been pushing for design and more sophisticated trading tools and structural products, which will allow for more structural financial products for Kaspa, which is necessary to allow hedge funds to create more strategies and trade around the sub 100 million daily trading volume of Kaspa. We can see right now on CoinMarketCap, and quite a reoccurring factor right now as well, is the volume for Kaspa has just been staying around below 100 mil. It's not been doing great right now, which is frustrating, which could therefore arguably mean that this new listing from Coin Call Global, which gives hedge funds, so institutions, more access to Kaspa and ways to trade it sub 100 mil, could be a significant thing to bring more adoption or to help stabilize Kaspa's price to stop it from correcting too heavily. Again, we're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. Whatever Bitcoin does, crypto will tend to follow in suit. So I have to wait and see. But Coin Call Global here, according to KEF, is one of the leading altcoin options exchanges. It offers access to multiple altcoin options, including Kaspa, with USDT denominated pricing, featuring both pro and light versions to accommodate different trading needs. This is very, very cool. And then Johnny here responds to this post here. Ultimately just putting down quite a, the first Kaspa option trading on the market. It's very good to see, very meaningful. And then he goes into a long explanation here about the understanding of market makers and ultimately what their role is. And I'm not going to read it to bore you. I'm going to give you my summary of it to help you understand a bit more. So ultimately, the understanding of market makers is, they aren't just buying Kaspa effectively. What they're doing is, they're not just buying it. What they're probably doing, or what they aim to do at least more so, is quoting. Now, of course, market makers, there's always talk about them being manipulative. We have to obviously, play that by ear and see what happens. But market makers right now, their aim is not to just buy and hold Kaspa. Their main job is to constantly provide buy and sell prices, so quotas to the market. And of course, their goal, at least what they should be doing, is they try to stay neutral, meaning that they don't really want to bet on whether the price will be going up or down, like traders or like we would tend to do, if you're trading at least. They just want to make money on the difference between the buy and sell price, so the spread of it effectively. Johnny highlights here, the different sort of options trading, which is highlighted as Delta, Gamma, and Vega. There's just three type of risks. We don't really need to get into the nitty-gritty of that. It's not that important here. The way I can kind of give you an understanding of this a bit more so in a sort of an analogy, if you will. So imagine you've got a store, a shop, that's always displaying both a buy sign and a sell sign price for everything they have in the shop. So imagine Target. You go into Target, you want to buy some toothpaste. You've got certain brands of toothpaste, or you've got toothpaste there, and got some of it just had the buy price, some of it the sell price, right? The store owner doesn't want to own too much of that specific brand of toothpaste or too little of that toothpaste as well, because it will make it too inflationary. It won't be good for them. They want to have just a good amount of it, but not too much, too little. So they adjust the buy and sell prices to encourage people to buy or sell the asset, or Kaspa in this regard, so toothpaste. So to keep their stock balance. The idea is this market maker. So with this Coin Call Global giving hedge funds a way to get access to Kaspa, the market makers therefore want to, let's just say they want to hold 100 million Kaspa just flat out. They want to always hold in around that part and make a bit of profit on the difference, but they also want to just continuously keep around that level and encourage people to buy and sell to them by rising or dropping the buy and sell value. This way they make a small profit on each transaction without taking any big risks, and they also try to provide the best prices possible so their customers, in this regard hedge funds as well, can keep coming back to them. So this is a kind of hopefully a bit of an understanding about market makers. Now again, market makers should be a way to help bring more liquidity to Kaspa. So hopefully we can start seeing Kaspa getting more than 100 million consistently as well. This is not to be confused that this is a market maker, which Johnny just go into a little bit of detail here as well. Someone asked, is this the market maker you mentioned in January? No, that's DWF Labs. Ultimately, the market maker that is meant to be onboarded right now, but still not live, is an American one. And apparently they're just stuck somewhere right now. They're stuck in some form of negotiation right now, which is frustrating. Hopefully, they'll be going live soon enough, because that'll help bring more liquidity to Kaspa and help, therefore, bring more adoption to Kaspa as well. And the other tier ones will hopefully list as a result as well. But this is a good thing to see right now. So we've got a listing here with Coino Swap and another listing as well, as a KF announced here, from Coin called Global, which is a very good thing for, allowing hedge funds to create more strategies to trade around the sub 100 million daily trading volume of Kaspa. It's not going to be a golden bullet where you're going to see Kaspa start to rally up in value, especially with the market sentiment right now. It's not as black and white as that, but it's a gradual increase in adoption. And that's the job of the KEF as well. The KEF's job is to bring more adoption to Kaspa. Of course, right now there's still a lot of negative sentiment around Kaspa regarding predominantly this individual and also Crypto P. Both of those two are very, very against the KEF and Johnny right now. And there are some in the community who also seem to follow their sentiment as well, which is fair enough. I still have no reason right now to lose trust in the KEF. The only thing I'm a bit confused about is the market maker. Other than that, I think the KEF are doing as much as they can do right now, considering the market conditions right now, which the market conditions right now are terrible. Again, you've seen what's happening in the market right now. We could see definitely some more downside. There's a lot of FUD right now. Thankfully, again, as I mentioned, Bitcoin down 4%. The fact that alts are down similarly is quite crazy, because alts tend to be, amplified in their, manipulation. So if Bitcoin's up 1%, alts tend to be up 3%. Bitcoin's down 4%. Normally you see alts down 10%. They're only down 4% for the most part, which is actually quite good. They're holding up stronger than I thought it would be, which is a good thing to see. So that's the new listing side of things for Kaspa, which is good to see, but there's also a lot more to cover as well. We can see if Christian Ludwig that the Kaspa exchange marketing is beginning as well. So Uphold made a post yesterday talking about Kaspa, faster proof of work blockchain. Obviously it's a block DAG, but the point's still there. Uphold are now back to shilling Kaspa, which is ultimately good to see. Result, Kaspa got 10 BPS, coming out very soon. Talk about how much faster it is than Bitcoin without compromising proof of work security. The adoption's coming through. People are starting to shill Kaspa more and more, and that's Uphold as well, one of the bigger exchanges in America. And as I mentioned earlier, Marathon will apparently be reporting their earnings today. That's going to be happening later when the stream is done, so keep an eye out for that. We're talking about it in tomorrow's stream, definitely. Hopefully we're seeing them adding more. According to Johnny, they have got more on the balance sheet, but we'll have to wait and see. The links to find out the website, like this website here, which is where you see the holdings, the SEC filings, that is in my community. To which you want to go and check that out. Links in the description, chat, also my homepage as well, right here. We've got a lot of useful stuff in there, just from general community talk about crypto and Kaspa and stuff like that. Information channels, also useful website channels. This will be in the useful website channel as well. And we also have important dates to cover as well, to which right now, us being on the 26th, we've got the Marathon coming out today. We've got other important dates coming as well on the 2nd of March. We've got the Crypto Expo event in Europe. The 5th of March is the emission reduction. 6th is the Binance Pool Award payout. The 7th of March is unemployment numbers. 12th is CPI. Please, someone get the door. And the Fed, and then we got on the 19th of March the Fed rate cut decision as well. So we've got a lot of important dates coming through. Again, if you want to have a kind of idea of what's coming through, all that information in my community, go check that out as well. In regards to Mouth, and then in regards to mining as well, we've got some other very seemingly quite important announcements regarding mining as well. Here from Nice Hash. Apparently they've got titanium packages coming to Easy Mining. So next week, a brand new experience for you on our Easy Mining with one of the fastest ever block times of any blockchain. We're talking about Kaspa titanium packages coming very, very soon. The hash rate right now for Kaspa is sitting around 1.3. This is likely going to explode very, very soon following 10 BPS. Solo mining as well will make a lot more profit, which is good to see as well. Which is, something that Luke highlights here. But we're going to get into this part here as well. Making a full circle right now, talking about the current market sentiment and getting to this post here as well. Of course, as for those who are joining the stream right now, markets are currently in a bit of a disarray right now following BlackRock selling $165 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. Trump announcing tariffs on the European Union now. So we now got 20% tariffs coming to Canada, Mexico, European Union, 10% on China, and 100% potentially on the BRICS nations. So right now, trade war worries are at all-time highs. And Trump also is going to be ordering all federal agencies to prepare for a massive downsizing. So while some of these things may be necessary, it's just causing a lot of uncertainty right now. People are thinking, what is Trump doing? And they're quite worried about it. So as Luke highlights here, the market's currently in uncertainty. Currently, things are looking quite dire and people are panicking. Luke highlights here, what is the key to surviving the crypto markets, the crypto volatility? And there are obviously multiple ways you could do as such. But what he says here, I do also understand this, and I also do agree with this in parts as well. Once you know the secret, the real secret to surviving crypto volatility is not about obsessing over price. The price of Kaspa right now is bad. Bitcoin, not doing very well. Do I sound worried in my voice? No. I mean, if it goes much, much lower, then maybe I'm concerned. But at the same time, I have no reason to worry right now because I've done my research. I know what's coming through. And also, I know what the right questions are to be asking. Is the asset you're investing into, is the tech very solid? Are the devs of the asset or project you're a part of, are they building still? Is the community still growing? Is it strong? Is the mission unchanged? Think about Bitcoin in that regard. Is Bitcoin tech solid? For its initial development of crypto, yes, but where it's at right now, no, it's too slow. They're still building? Not really. Is the community still growing? Yes, of course. The community is growing massively. Is the mission unchanged? Yes, but unfortunately, these two, even though the mission's unchanged, the tech's not strong enough to let the mission come to fruition. So if yes to all of those things, then I'm not worried about daily price movements. If no, it's time to zoom out, reassess, and decide where you stand. If you ask yourself these 4 questions on a project, and you're answering no to any of them, take a step back, look more into the project, or maybe reassess what it is you're holding. For me, all these questions can perfectly correlate to Kaspa. Kaspa's tech is very solid, the devs are still building, the community is still growing, and the mission is still unchanged, to be a peer-to-peer electronic form of currency to do what Bitcoin failed to do. When you start realizing this sort of stuff, you stop looking at the charts in such a negative limelight. You understand the macro news, you understand the fundamentals, you understand what this is going to do for the markets. And if you're trading, which of course I do on the side as well, I will adjust my strategies accordingly. But for my Kaspa holding side of things, I'm not worried in the slightest. This is not for me worth worrying about. And as DJ Mines asked a question here for Kaspa, I know 1 BPS and 10 BPS is incredible, but what will fill those blocks up? I'm frequently getting asked this question, but I don't have a good answer. And Luke highlights here, we'll soon be seeing virtual machine agnostic smart contract capabilities on Kaspa through projects like Igra Labs and Rust native smart contract capabilities through Project Sparkle, and other builders bring in their own version of smart contract to Kaspa, Kaspa EVM, Kasplex, and so on and so forth. Importantly, the solutions will rely on Kaspa as the sequencer of wire-based rollups, meaning every transaction will hit the layer 1 first before the layer 2 utilizes it. Kaspa is the integral layer going through everything. This means that every project building its base solution on top of Kaspa is directly giving back proportionally to how much it uses the network, and those fees will go directly into the pockets of the miners. This is what is so important, because in due time, in the next 10 to 15 years, I believe, all Kaspa will be mined out. No more Kaspa left to mine. But by that point, with so many other layer 2s building on top of Kaspa, with all the transactions going through the platform, the miners then can mine the Kaspa. In that regard, the miners will make Kaspa, they make money through that as well. And with 10 BPS coming out very soon, it's never been a better time to solar mine, according to Luke here, because you see more opportunity to be able to mine and hit those blocks. Also, in response to this question as well, a couple of highlights here, smart contracts and layer 2 solutions can bring more use cases. I personally think the market Kaspa needs to be capitalizing on right now is the stablecoin market, which I couldn't agree with more. As I predicted, or I'm hoping, I'm speculating, Kasplex will be in attendance at the event, Crypto Expo event in Europe on the 2nd and 3rd of March, which is this Saturday. This is this Sunday and Monday coming, to which they'll have a presentation there talking about token issuance, light index deployment by May 2025, and how Kaspa L2 stays consistent with L1 sequencing and consensus. So what I'm hearing, without them saying it, is they're going to be talking about stablecoin developments and when it's going to be released, and smart contracts coming to Kaspa through Kasplex. They already got the next steps towards stablecoins coming out as well, and that's precisely why I was late today streaming, because I was listening to this subcommittee here, which again, there's definitely a lot more they spoke about here. I didn't get to listen to all of it, but what I listened to, ultimately the whole viewpoint, the whole premise is talking about this stablecoin bill called Genius, Guiding and Establishing National Innovation in US Stablecoins Act. Now, from what I understand from looking through Genius, it is the understanding or the idea from some members that Genius Act is good, but it needs to be further refined, it needs to be better, it needs to actually be able to target all existing areas if it needs to be. But ultimately, this Genius Act that they'll be talking about, are going to be implementing of course in due time, is able to provide clear regulations for US stablecoins. That is the crucial factor there. Defines stablecoins as digital assets pegged to the US dollar, establishes licensing and reserve requirements for issuers, applies the Fed rule on issuers who have over $10 billion and state rules for below $10 billion, and support financial inclusion, efficient transactions, and dollar supremacy. So it's ultimately one massive bill to make sure stablecoins are as efficient and as utilized as possible in America when they are coming out, which will be a big factor because, as I've highlighted in the past already, stablecoins are absolutely huge. They already surpassed the volume of Visa and MasterCard combined in 2024 last year, and that's without worldwide adoption yet. The reason they can do that because stablecoins are so quick. Visa and MasterCard can take a little bit longer for confirmation time. Stablecoins are so much quicker. The value of the crypto market compared to the real world market is nowhere near the same, but because of the benefits stablecoins has, and also for what blockchain is, the volume surpassed it, which is huge news. Of course, institutions understanding that will be frothing and drooling at the mouth to get access to stablecoins, because they also, as highlighted from this article here, they effectively give, the more developed countries like America and and United Kingdom and areas of Europe as well, they basically just make transactions even easier because you get faster confirmation time. It's a massive benefit to transactions in general. And then for the less developed countries, it means that if your currency if your native currency is struggling, you can actually then start utilizing the stablecoin instead of having to utilize your native currency, and therefore gives your country more stability as well. Stablecoins have little to no downside. It's just trying to find the right stablecoin, and that's why I think Kaspa needs to definitely tap into this market, and that's why I think they're doing so right now. The KRI, they're releasing their gigawatt stablecoin as well. We know stablecoins are coming out this year for Kaspa, that is confirmed. And with what the current idea and direction that America and the world wants to go stablecoins, I think it's a very, very crucial market that people want to get into. As I've highlighted in the past, Harvard stated in August 2024 it's a race to dominate stablecoins. It's exactly what it is right now, because stablecoins have the potential to replace and displace legacy payment systems like credit card networks like Swift, Visa, and MasterCard. It's already doing that. To rewire the global financial system. That's what they're doing right now. JP Morgan stated that stablecoin issuers who adhere to regulations will benefit from the upcoming regulatory crackdown and gain market share. What's happening right now? Assets, there's currently a flood of stablecoins coming to the market. It's ones that are compliant regulations, ones that are got good technology that will gain a market share. And I think Kaspa is one that will be able to do that based on their technology being so superior, it being decentralized as well. But also because the KRI are aiming to create a regulatory roundtable group to make sure the Kaspa are compliant with regulations from day one. They're still doing that right now. And again, in that regard, to highlight this document, I've put this information already exclusively to those who are part of the executive community here, which highlights, one of the many sort of institutional research documents we have. This one here from NITA, which is a federally funded research organization. They've instructed presidential transition team to introduce stablecoin bills and digital asset legislation within 90 days to take an office. Right now, we are only 30 days in. So within the next 2 months, we'll be seeing bills coming into America and therefore starting to take action into the world. That's why this kind of market correcting right now I think, honestly, worst case, we see it correct into end of April. And then with these bills coming out, you'll see a quick reversal. That's absolute worst case of my belief right now. Of course, not financial advice. But I'm building on top of that as well. Apparently, Trump's crypto task force, which is got the likes of crypto mom Hester Pierce, who is the leader of it. Apparently, they were just met with Meta as well, who's the organization who's, telling they're the ones who instruct their presidential transition team in what they should be doing. Their recommendations carry significant weight because they provide expert, non-partisan guidance rooted in extensive research, and they're telling Trump and his administration, get stablecoins out, get crypto out, get bills out as soon as possible. And they met with them already earlier on the 21st, so 5 days ago. So right now, even though we're seeing a lot of downside right now in the market, this is, again, for me, as I highlighted in my stream yesterday, it's just noise, it's short-term sort of FUD. Right now, the market outlook is still looking very, very bullish towards the implementation of crypto into our economy. Bank of America, here, the CEO, apparently they're aiming now to launch a US dollar pegged crypto stablecoin if lawmakers pass legislation. Which again, we're seeing that come to fruition right now. They just had a subcommittee talk about how they're going to do that, stating that it's pretty clear there's going to be a stablecoin which is going to be a fully dollar-backed stablecoin. It's no different than a bank account. They understand that stablecoins are they need to get involved. They need to get involved. So this is again huge news. And in that regard, also, we're going to have something here. I'm going to play a quick video out as well from Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase CEO, talking about, the next big steps for crypto right now, which also is talking about stablecoins as well, just building on top of this whole bullish sentiment. So take a quick listen to this video as well.
Some stablecoins. This legal precedent is very important to make sure that, we can't revisit this issue again, or a future SEC administration can't revisit it again. But what we really need to do in the United States to get regulatory clarity is to have Congress pass legislation. And that's going to have a couple of key components to it. There's already some stablecoin draft legislation being discussed in Congress. That's an important piece, so we can have a digital dollar that preserves America's reserve currency status. We also need to get token classification, or market structure, some people call it, which is essentially just clarifying which of these crypto assets are commodities, securities, payment tokens, artwork, or something else, so that we know how it should be regulated. And if we can get those, the third one I would say would be a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I think that would be an important asset for the United States.
So there's a lot that still needs to be done in America right now. We are still extremely early. In regards to the Bitcoin reserve that Brian Armstrong mentioned, again, as I mentioned in the subcommittee, there was still talk about uncertainty behind a Bitcoin reserve bill, that is not necessary. We'll have to see how it comes to fruition. I do believe we'll get a Bitcoin reserve regardless. There might be some states that are against it, but Trump wants one. And, if Trump gets his way, which I think he probably will at this point, then it's inevitable. You'll see Bitcoin reserves in majority, if not all states, and therefore likely around the world. I don't think Europe wants it. European central banks say they don't want it. Maybe it's a loss. We'll have to wait and see. But the sort of Bitcoin strategic reserve will likely give a lot more value to Bitcoin, therefore more liquidity coming to crypto as well. So while it has its downsides of therefore making Bitcoin more centralized, being held by a massive entity, governments, it will effectively make it more scarce, and therefore also likely increase its value as well. Because I mean, of course it would. It would make sense for it to do so as well. So we've got a lot more coming to stablecoins as well. And who's going to be stablecoin, winner, if you will, if you want to classify it as that. It's still not confirmed. Right now, I'd argue the front runner actually is Circle. Right now, the biggest stablecoin in this space is Tether, by quite a margin. I think over 60% of all transactions are done in Tether. But Tether CEO has been stating recently that competitors and politicians are working to kill Tether using lawfare instead of building better tech products. And that's the truth. Right now, there aren't many institutions or, competitors right now that are building a better stablecoin or whatever it may, a better product. They're basically, because Tether has its whole uncertainty around it, its lack of transparency, apparently there's lack of auditing and lack of, actual assets backing, whatever it may be, dollar backed. Right now it's not very sure. And the problem with that as well is while nothing's confirmed, there still seems to be a fair amount of research stating that Tether is currently in a predicament right now. The impacts of MiCA, for example, will be felt in 2025, MiCA regulations being Europe. This is also what was conducted and spoke about in the subcommittee as well, talking a little bit about MiCA, about how the laws of MiCA's regulatory bill for stablecoins is actually not that different from what America wants to do as well, just that they're kind of a step ahead right now. And MiCA, and because of MiCA, a lot of exchanges have already delisted Tether because Tether's not compliant with MiCA regulations. And similarly as well, according to this post here from Signum House Review, according to this research document as well, a new stablecoin bill introduced into the United States Senate would encourage US banks to issue stablecoins and disadvantage non-backed stablecoin issuers and non-US entities such as Tether. So once more, it looks like there's a chance that Tether will be excluded from the US stablecoin regulations. So it's a massive area of uncertainty right now. That's the part of the downside with the regulations coming through, which is what the KI highlighted as well. The regulations coming through will be a massive green light for institutions to get more into crypto, which will bring more liquidity into the space, but also it does mean that it will bring a lot more scrutiny to those who are not complying with regulations. And it's not a case that they're not even being safe. It's because they just not been given clarity. So it's going to be it's going to bring a lot more to this space, but also bring a lot more backlash, because it also inherently pushes crypto away from what crypto is meant to be, decentralized. The whole premise of crypto is meant to be decentralized money, but also kind of a way to, get out of this whole corrupt government system, I guess, if you will. That's the whole premise of Bitcoin, to be a form of money without government control. And that's currently being shifted on its head massively. Right now, as highlighted throughout multiple talks from, again, this subcommittee also mentioned as well, a lot of the space right now, it's become very centralized. So it's very, that's again why a lot of my picks, when it's not talk about, I think Kaspa is still a strong pick for me. I have no reason not to be believing Kaspa right now, but also my other picks in this space are ones that I do see that, while centralized and why I don't trust them completely, they have the connections, the institutional backing, therefore I've hedged my bets on them a little bit. But yeah, with the kind of nature of the market, the stature of the market right now looking definitely very, very bearish. Kaspa right now valued at 8.75 cents, down roughly 5.27% on the daily time frame. I think Kaspa right now might come back down to 8 cents. It might even come back down to 7 cents, touching there. I think I've seen massive buy walls from exchanges around these zones. So while it's possible, if Bitcoin corrects heavily, we can go back down there. I would be surprised if we go below 7 cents. You have to wait and see, of course. This new listing may help bring more stability to Kaspa, allow market makers to actually be able to keep Kaspa price up there a little bit more and bringing more volatility and trading through. The quarterly report from Marathon that's going to be releasing later today could also bring a lot more belief in Kaspa and what's coming out, and people actually not being so upset about Kaspa's lack of price, because we've seen that the Wall Street entities are still bullish on Kaspa. All this stuff coming out. Stablecoins going to be a big focus for Kaspa as well, and again I do believe we're going to be seeing some announcement about that next week, which will be huge. I'm going to be looking very closely to that as well. Kaspa's in a price wise, like the rest of the market, is currently struggling, and we could definitely see some more downside. Again, Bitcoin's only down about 25% from its all-time high. Well, actually, it's probably about 20% now. It's 23% right now. All-time was from its local bottom right now is 25%. Kaspa could come down further as well. Currently, Kaspa is down about 60% from its all-time high. In the past, in the beginning, we've seen Kaspa correct down 70%. All the other big assets as well, like Cardano, like Litecoin, like Chainlink, they're also all down 70%. So right now, as long as Kaspa doesn't go below 70% correction, I have no reason to be concerned about the price. And at the same time, as Luke also highlights here as well, the secrecy to surviving crypto volatility is understand what you're holding, asking the right questions. And all the questions here correlate to Kaspa, and I think Kaspa is still a very, very solid project. And if we do focus on stablecoins, which I think we will do, and hopefully coming out very, very soon in May, which is only 2-3 months away from now. So not far off at all, with smart contracts coming out soon after that as well, not around the same time. When these stablecoin bills come out, because again, as Meta's highlighted, Trump's got 90 days. February, March, April. So these stablecoin bills should be coming out in and around April, latest case, I guess, May, It shouldn't be that long now. So those stablecoins issuers will also likely cause a flip of the switch sort of nature start to happen in the crypto space. And we'll see hopefully the market rally up again and a little bit more so as well. More adoption coming through. It's still, I'm not panicking yet. I have no reason to panic. This is for me just noise. The future outlook of crypto still looks very, very good. Avalanche here is launching a new Avalanche Visa card. So Visa are getting more and more ingrained into the crypto space. That's a sign of massive Web2 entities who are actively getting more and more involved into crypto. They don't want it to die. Why would they? They see the value in it. They see the value of stablecoins. They desperately want to get access to the space. What we're just seeing right now is trade war and FUD. And of course, BlackRock selling doesn't help either. So we could see more downside with more tariffs and trade wars coming out, definitely. More uncertainty in the markets, 100%. If I'm honest, I'm also expecting it. But I'm also ignoring the majority. I'm talking about the noise here, but I'm also ignoring it in my current emotional state. And I'm looking at what the next play is. I'm doing my institutional research that I'm providing and sharing to the members who are part of this community here. Where you can join for free 7-day free trial. We're doing our weekly live streams every Saturday. We're talking trade alerts right now, which even during this market is quite tough, but we're still trying to maximize on this current market and the negative sentiment. We also have hidden gems we're looking into right now. Some big AR plays I think could be very, very good. And equally, we have our institutional research that is giving us even more insight into the big money market movers, what they want to do for crypto, what their plan is for crypto and for AI and other stuff in the space coming forward as well. If you want to know more about that, again, link to join in the description in my YouTube homepage here and also now posted in the chat. You come check it out. It comes off for free as well, 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, by all means, you can cancel it. That's perfectly fine. But you can get a little bit of a sneak peek into what we're talking about in there and see if it's definitely worth your while. I know people like Tony is very, very happy with it, understanding more about the market. And this is the sort of stuff then that this is just it builds up a lot more on what we talk about daily here in a lot more detail. What's coming out. And equally, then we can correlate all that news to what's coming out to Kaspa as well. But yeah, good evening to you also, Kaspa Frog. Rational Ray says here, the illogical reason I can think of why BlackRock, Binance and Coinbase would sell layer 1 is so they could buy more at a cheaper price. I completely agree. Again, researchers told me that they're still extremely bullish. BlackRock is literally partnering with like HBAR Hedera. If they're selling, it's to force people to be scared and then to buy their bags. That's my belief as well. Chaos 20 meme, 2K is now 210. Wow, that is absolutely mental. I am sorry to hear that. You've got a long rally back up again, definitely. I'm not sure which one you hold. I'm not asking to know either way. But again, depending on the asset it is, and I do think again when Kaspa starts getting the adoption through, the big tier 1 listed and the price starts to rally again and FOMO starts coming back in, these memes will definitely rally with it as well. And because they're memes as well, potentially even more volatile as well, the money will go to Kaspa and they'll cycle back into these memes as well. That's my belief. I don't think all of them will survive. I think a lot of them may. In the ones because it's quite early on. I think honestly, if I'm honest right now, I think anything in the top maybe 15 here have a good chance to survive, and you'll see more come and go as well. Top 5, I've got a lot of conviction in these top 5. I like Burr, I like Conan. That's just wait and see, of course. How much Bitcoin does BlackRock hold? Let's have a good question. That's a good question. How much Bitcoin does BlackRock own? Currently looks like BlackRock holds 585,185.9 Bitcoin. So, let's look at that quickly. In Bitcoin, I'm trying to do the calculation of how much that actually is. I'll just do that divided by 90k. I want to get my calculator out. It's so much easier. So 165 divided by. So yeah, so it looks like BlackRock's sold in around 1,800, just above 1,800 Bitcoin, and they own over 500,000. So in the grand scheme of things, they sold like barely a 50th of their holdings. It's still quite no, not a 50th. Wait, a 50th? Okay, my math today is actually woeful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they didn't, in the grand scheme, they didn't sell a lot. I mean, obviously 165 billion is a lot, but for how much they're holding, it's a drop in the water for them. But it obviously caused a lot of concerns and FUD in the market as a result. Dog K is garbage, only semi-decent calcium is croak. Again, it's up for debate. Mr. Bar says Ada has been trying to get stables going for a long time. They have some small ones in the past, but they never took off. Nobody wanted to use them, but they have tried several times. I mean, I'm not surprised. Again, I think Cardano, if you're holding it, I apologise, because this is probably the only thing. I do think Cardano is rubbish. I don't like Cardano. To be fair, that maybe because I've been slightly warped by Alex Becker, who constantly clowns on Cardano holders. I think Cardano is rubbish. I don't like Cardano at all. I think for what Cardano has, I just think Kaspa's also a lot better than most projects in this space, but especially Cardano. I'm not saying that Kaspa will flip Cardano the cycle. I'm not saying that at all. But Cardano's been trying to build stablecoins for a while. Mr. Mars highlights here. Kaspa is trying to do that right now, and seemingly we see some sort of announcement regarding that very, very soon. And with where this right now, stablecoins, I think there's a reason why Ripple and XRP launched stablecoins when they did, because they understand this sort of significance and the adoption that the United States wants stablecoins, how much they demand stablecoins. They want it badly. So that's why there's a race for stablecoins right now. And hopefully Kaspa will capitalize on that market with it. The superior technology will help them gain more adoption in that regard, but also then building stablecoins that hopefully bring more as well. My strongest coin is Velo Labs and holding well. Let's have a look at Velo then, because I know most coins right now are struggling, but Velo might be doing okay today. It's holding down 2% on here. This is obviously Velo Labs. Yeah, it's not doing too badly today in the grand scheme of things right now. I do know, I have looked a little more into Velo Labs. I think Velo Labs has been talked in similar conversations to the likes of XRP and XLM, being a sort of infrastructure, sort of like a token that's like a real asset, ISO 2022 compliance. So I understand why Velo Labs got a bit more bullish sentiment than I realised. Although saying that, I still don't like the chart. But if it's talked in the same space as XRP, XLM, XDC and them lot, then I get it. I get what people are holding Velo. Because I have looked into it a little bit more. I don't know if I'll hold it though, because there's just stuff. I don't know. I need to look more into it personally. But hearing that in talked in the same conversation as like XRP and that stuff does give me more reason to believe it'll do okay. Not because I trust tokens or the companies or the assets, but just because I see the institutional adoption being a key factor for money movements in this cycle in particular. You need institutional adoption to do well. At least right now, with how the cycle's already panning out, I think what's going to drive an asset's price is institutional adoption. This is why I'm happy the KRI is a part of Kaspa, because they're going to be bringing institutional adoption to Kaspa directly. That's why, I'm not worried about Kaspa still. Kaspa will go to the moon, very times ahead completely. I still believe that much. In the future to be, even the cycle could do very well. Big things coming to Kaspa. 10 BPS again is going to be coming out in the next month or two. Stablecoins will be coming out in due time as well. Hopefully some announcement very, very soon. The next quarterly report from Marathon coming out tomorrow. For me tomorrow, but in about 3 hours from now. A lot more coming through. How much did we have yesterday and also last week? Sorry if you've already discussed this. I'm playing catch up and I was 10 minutes late at the start of the live stream. How much did we have yesterday? I'm guessing you're talking about the price of Bitcoin. I'm not entirely sure. If you can clarify exactly what you're talking about, Dead Duck, I will answer your question. Well, drop from 72 to 78k. I mean, we could see Bitcoin drop that far down. I mean, in accordance to this structure here, seemingly from where we can see, this is still quite relatively uncharted territory because, since it went up from 73k top, it just kind of rallied. We've found some stability around here. This area here, similarly to Kaspa's 5 to 9 cents, is quite, uncharted territory. We've seen a small stop here, a wick here, so this is definitely a level of support. And equally saw a bit more 5 days here as well. So this seems to be another level of support here. So I'm inclined to believe if we come down further, it'll be about 77 to 75k. We'll have to wait and see. Dollar HLF update, undervalued stock, confirmed bottom with ESP of 2.5, gives it a PE of 3.32 with structured value of $25. Cool. Altcoin season soon, potentially. It depends though. I mean, right now altcoin season definitely is driven by the value of Ethereum. Ethereum needs to pass all-time highs, and Bitcoin dominates to fall off for an altcoin season. I think we'll still get one in the cycle. How soon, I don't know. But I think we'll definitely get one in the cycle. And you'll see assets like Kaspa fly as a result. Tariffs force us Canadians to stop buying from the United States and build or buy somewhere else. We will recover fast. Potentially, I mean, again, we'll have to wait and see. Potentially, Canada and Mexico and other entities just go elsewhere for their goods. But America being such a massive, massive market, Trump does have the massive, massive personality on him to just be able to throw it around and force his way. Force what he wants. We'll have to see what happens. But the trade war is definitely going to cause some more negative sentiment. You might see some more selling off as well. But I'm still not worried right now. I do remember seeing something a while back from KSI, apparently saying we're going to see Bitcoin come back to 66k. Which if that happens, that'd be very, very funny. Because he called that, when Bitcoin was going up to 100k here. In that regard, then we see Bitcoin come back down to, what would be, horizontal line to be here. Which, again, that is definitely a level of support, so it's possible. I'm not saying KSI is right. I'm not going to trust KSI as a financial advisor, but, I mean, yeah, Trump did exactly what I thought would happen in the market, which is, Trump caused that fall off, and it'll start coming back up again. Kamala Harris, she got in power to probably cause this, and then just to gradually fall up in the market anyways. So all Trump did was make an earlier peak, which people got very bullish about, and then said we're going to see a 500k Bitcoin this cycle. Yeah, I was optimistic. I was always skeptical about that. What's up, John Doe? Jay, what is going on? Effectively, Trump announced more tariffs. BlackRock sold a lot of Bitcoin yesterday, which caused a lot of FUD, and then that's off the back of Trump announcing even more tariffs on Europe this time. So now you've got him going forward again with Canada tariffs and Mexico tariffs, and now Europe. Already got China in play as well, and potentially BRICS still. So the tariffs are causing a way of trade wars. Of the word of trade war, people are now just very uncertain with the market and taking it out. And with Trump doing so much right now to kind of almost massively change, the infrastructure and the whole centralized, the whole America really. People are just I wouldn't say losing faith in him, but they're just very confused what's happening right now. Of course, a lot of people don't like him, which is, your opinions are your own. I'm not making an opinion on whether I like Trump or not, because I'm not going to have anyone talking. I don't want to bring any thought of backlash in my community, or to me at least personally. I won't speak too much on policies. But this is causing the current negative sentiment in the market. And then you've got, while that's very negative, you've got a lot of good things coming to Kaspa, more listings. Exchange starts to talk about Kaspa a little bit more again as well. Marathon's report coming out later. 10BS coming out soon. Stablecoins being a focus for Kaspa hopefully very, very soon. And this whole subcommittee and everything I spoke about in this stream is just ultimately highlighting the big bullish sentiment behind stablecoins that's coming to the space. And that's also why I think Kaspa's going to do a very strong position as well. We're going to have to try and find out who the leaders of stablecoins are going to be, but I think Kaspa will be one of them based on what they are building. So, yeah, again, this is just noise for me. It's just trading. Maybe just wait on the sidelines to wait for it to cool off a little bit. Because we may come down further. We may not. Again, we'll have to wait and see. The markets are reacting yesterday from the going forward of trade wars again of tariffs, and then we've got more tariffs. The markets react again. The markets may, if we get no more announcements from Trump or told tariffs, the market may start stabilizing around the zone here. So, it depends right now. People are just being understandably very emotional. What's up, Buffalo Theory? I'll have to watch this later. About to start work. Have a good day, y'all. Well, thank you very much for tuning in and giving you a little hello. Hope you have a very good day at work. Keep grinding, my man. And yeah, have fun watching on playback. You're doing very well, my man. What's up, Stephen King? Late but glad to make the live. You already covered the Incurred Labs interview of the devs. I have not covered that yet. No, I did listen to it very briefly, but I decided in the end that this was a bit more practical for me to talk about. I plan to listen to it a little bit later on and talk about it, or hopefully I'll find someone who had a TLDR about it as well. Anyone seen Plan K's videos? I have not. No, my man. Plan K is the guy who talks a lot about power law stuff with Kaspa. He said Kaspa and monetary theory earlier here. Super intelligent guy. I mean, he's a very intelligent guy. I do like Plan K. He's got a lot of good insight. I don't think we'll see any major Kaspa adoption until we fully see smart contract projects and we can trade on. I do agree, and I do agree. I do think that we'll get a lot more adoption coming through when you get stablecoins and you get DeFi and you get smart contracts on Kaspa, which is going to be coming through. Right now, there seems to be talks of potentially in Q2, maybe Q3, but right now I think we're still going to see it in time for the market. So I'm still optimistic about it. That's when you start getting a lot more adoption. It'll come through slowly but surely, and the KRI will launch their institutional adoption projects as well, and Kaspa will start to rally. That's my belief right now. But I'm not worried right now, even for Kaspa and crypto right now. We can see more downside. It's what it is. Just because I can fill my bags at a cheaper price again, which I'm fortunate to be able to get that opportunity. Another 10k Kaspa in the bag at 6.9p each. Love to hear that, Anthony. Doing very well, my man. Remember, if nothing fundamentally changed about the coin, the price doesn't matter. Completely right. And a very healthy mindset, I believe. The dev's not done anything that's dodgy. The project's not changed at all. It's just developing more. Again, as Luke highlights here, these are the questions you've got to ask yourself. And these are the questions that we're answering for Kaspa. And again, all these stuff are still yes. Tech solid, devs are still building, community is still growing, the mission is still unchanged. So Kaspa's still, the price of the Kaspa for what's going to come in the future. I think Kaspa at this level should be a massive trade, but even volume lowered by 50% in these prices. I mean, right now, it is quite weird. But again, it is what it is. Like, marks evidently the volume for Kaspa is just not that high because everything's just correcting, in unison. But I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that regard. When can I pay my rent in stablecoins? Honestly, with the way the structure's kind of panning out from information that I've seen, again, if I put it in my community in the executive part here, a lot of the talk right now is implementing it this year, stablecoin bills and stablecoin regulations and whatnot. And it looks like a lot of it's going to be coming like fully utilized in sort of actually big stablecoins, a backbone of financial transactions up to 2030. So if you want to know more about that, again, you've got to go. I mean, you're a part of the community, so you know that, but those who aren't a part of it, you come join for free, 7-day free trial, check it out. But I think stablecoins are going to be an integral part, and we'll see a lot more adoption coming through in this cycle, and of course you have to follow that as well. Jay Tyler charged me monthly rent while I'm locked in the basement. Sure. 10 yes is a major catalyst for smart contracts. There will be more than 4 smart contracts come to Kaspa. Yeah, 100%. We've got 4 early adopters right now. Casplex, Idra Labs, Kaspa EVM, and also Project Sparkle being the core team. But you'll see more people build on top of Kaspa. KRI are doing their own thing with smart contracts as well. So you're going to see a lot more coming to Kaspa, definitely. Welcome back, Kryptoni, to develop, my man. Smart contracts don't need to work for 10 FPS is fast enough to launch smart contract with the low volume. I mean, again, we don't need smart 10 FPS. We don't need 10 FPS for smart contracts, but it's going to come out that way either way, which is good. All noise cycle low. Yeah, completely agree. If I was going to invest in any proof of stake, it'd be ADA. It's definitely the most decentralized and the fastest. I mean, completely fair enough. I personally don't like ADA. I just steer clear from it. That's just my personal opinion, though. I haven't really got much of a belief or reason for that in depth wise. I think it's maybe just a personal vendetta. Nothing really against it. I just don't hold about Cardano. I have other picks I have. But that's not to say put you off it. Again, if you've done your research and you think it is definitely worthwhile, then by all means run it. Happy for you. They've just implemented their constitution and 100% community owned and driven now. Well, that is, that is actually good to hear. It's quite reassuring. People saying that they prefer ADA to proof of stake as well, which that is reassuring ultimately. It's ultimately reassuring to hear that, but I guess again, maybe I need to do some more research into ADA then, because that's research and stuff I did from years back. Haven't really looked into it any time recently. That video chart tells a story a lot. I mean, it doesn't look very reassuring. I agree with that much. the reason why I was saying I understand a bit why people are really bullish on Velo is because I've seen it, being put in the same circle as the likes of XRP, XLM, and XDC, and Algorand, and that sort of infrastructure project, those sort of real world asset projects, and ISO 2022 tokens. So that regard, I'm like, okay, I understand people are bullish on Velo, but of course the chart is definitely a cause for concern. Nacho has a big exchange listing coming soon. Oh, I mean, there's a lot coming to all these memes. Right now, again, these memes, while they're down right now, they haven't got any tier 1 listings. Not even a Kraken listing. They haven't got anything yet. And of course, because these tier 1s, I don't think they really care about listing these Kaspa memes right now, and Kaspa itself is not doing anything. The market's not doing anything. Why would they care? I know Nacho's got big things coming soon. I know Kango and Kaspi also have big listings coming soon. And that will hopefully bring more liquidity back to the projects as well. Like Buffalo said, if you enjoy the streams, doing these streams daily, leave a like, show your friends and subscribe for more, you know the deal. Doing this every single day, bringing your crypto and Kaspa FOMO. When Jay feeds me, he puts one skinny cow on a Kaspa plate and one on an XRP plate. Yeah. I'm going to have to just start skipping these questions, I swear. I can't buy any more Kaspa. I've already sold all my extra internal org because I have nothing left. 100%. I want Kaspa to develop enough for smart contracts because it's one I use. I agree as well. Bro said there's a calm before the storm. This ain't calm. No, it's the storm before the typhoon. Storm before the hurricane. Right now we're in a storm, and then it's going to go to a calm. If it's going to go to a hurricane, we're going to start seeing it go massively parabolic upwards. Kaspa is a joke. Unless you fade till the bottom, you'll never once bar before you will lose. I mean, there's always an inherent risk with memes. That's the understanding of memes is a risk. But memes are there for a reason, and I don't think memes are going to die. Never. And I think Kaspa's going to grow more and more, and that will give more value to their memes as well. The memes aren't the reason that Kaspa will do well. Kaspa will do... Yeah, the memes aren't a reason that Kaspa will do well. Kaspa will do well, and therefore the memes will do well as a result. So, if Kaspa does well, the memes will do well as well. That's ultimately how it goes, but again, try to pick the right projects. Do all Brits pronounce Ada like has 2 Ds? How do you pronounce it then? It's not like Ada. Like, what? I don't... does it sound like I have 2 Ds there? Pause. Right, I'm going to just skip that now. This is why Americans took your language. Yeah, I'm going to just skip that now. I said if. Yeah, I know you said if. If you would have invested in proof of stake. Of course, a lot of people wouldn't bother with that in this community. Ada. Love to hear that, buddy. Thank you, yeah. Oh, Mr. Miles, man. Yes, thank you very much for restoring all of our faith in the British Empire, Ada. The waves are receding before Q tsunami. Yes. The waves are receding right now, and we'll see a tsunami very soon. Quantitative easing. We've got a lot of big things coming very, very soon that could cause some market volatility. Right now, I'm under the impression we'll see probably a bit more corrective behavior in the next, March month coming through. We have emission reduction on the 5th. We have unemployment data, a number on the 7th, and CPI data from the Fed on the 12th. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks or so, well, actually in 2 weeks, we'll see a lot of the data that will kind of determine where the cycles will be going in the immediate short term. So, we can see more downside. I'm currently under the impression we'll see Bitcoin. If Trump doesn't announce anything else, we'll see it consolidate around here. Worst case, I want to say it'll come back down to this zone here, but I'm hoping it'll be 75k at the bottom, being a 30% correction from all-time highs. That's to wait and see ultimately. But I'm still not worried in my conviction for Kaspa and crypto. I want to know more about why my conviction is so strong. Again, you've got to check out the executive community here. But with that being said, Mr. Miles saying don't reach the end of chat. No, I've reached it now. Too late. I hope you all have a great day, good evening, and good night. If you enjoy the stream, as always, leave a like, share, your subscribe for more. If you want to be up to date with crypto and Kaspa stuff, then come join the free community. Link in the description, chat also my homepage. And yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow talking about the marathon quarterly report. Have a great day, good evening, good night. I'm ignoring you, Mr. Miles. I'm ignoring you. You can try again tomorrow. Have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you all then.